Alright, that's all I ask is right back to the garden. At the moment, I think we have all the information we need. It keeps saying possible information sources, but it says search for more clear clues or pick one spear. I would assume that they probably keep telling you, hey, you could keep looking for more clues if you want, forever, basically. Because definitively telling you that that's all the information you need would cheapen the problem. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can keep searching and searching and searching and searching for more information. But I feel like that's all the things I need, right? Copper trimmed, shape of the leaf, with the fish. So now it'll be time for the most engrossing episode of the entire series, which is that I'm going to walk around and look at each of them until one of them fits that description. Yay. And whoop. Yeah, it faded to black for a second there that time. Makes it slightly less jarring, but it is still just weird. Yeah, they only say 3 things about it. But it has to be copper leaf fish. So I think I found all the things I need to know, because they only list three features of each one. Alright. Well, I can tell. It's hard to tell the metal type and its engraving from a glance, but from my third-person camera angle, I can at least tell which ones are leaves. So that'll save us some time. I don't need to click on every single one. Just looking for prompts. There was at least one down here. That could be it. That looks gold, though. Is it, though? So that was copper, but it has the Eye of Ra, which would be a weird thing to stab Jesus with. Huh. Uh-oh. Do I not have audio? Hey, we're back. Now we have game audio. I don't know why that was happening, but I restarted OBS and now we have audio. Thankfully, nothing happened, and I caught it while all that had happened so far was him saying the same lines over and over again, which you could also see on the screen. And frankly, they're not massively improved by being able to hear them, because he does the thing where it's clearly 3 separate audio lines all being spliced together in a sequence, because they have to slot in. He said each line once, and then they slot in each descriptor as needed, which is economical, but it doesn't sound like it doesn't sound natural the way it's implemented. That could be it.
Well, here we can see this Landsat. A leaf shape is gold rimmed.
Nope.
And a fish is engraved on the tip.
I can't see these engravings he says he can see. Alright, so we keep getting close. That's a spear. It's not leaf-shaped. I almost could have guessed that it was going to be leaf-shaped just because of how many of them seem to be leaf-shaped. Because they're all that's the spear again. They're kind of all averaging around what it's supposed to look like, which makes sense for 2 reasons. One, for a puzzle. You'd want to kind of gather around the true answer a lot to obscure it. But also because it's a quest of this guy to find the true one. So, finding a bunch of fake ones that are really similar is the premise.
We can see that this lance has a leaf shape, and, well, it's in gold. I can see that a crucifix is engraved on the tip, just barely visible.
I sometimes see the engraving, but like 3 out of 4 times I think I don't. I wonder what's up with that. You're placed in a... Wow, you have like an extended look at this cutscene.
Let's take a look at this lance here. It has a very special leaf shape. It is copper rimmed, and I can see a fish symbol engraved on the tip.
Huh. Really? That's a weird choice. That feels like a weird choice mechanically. The one that's the correct answer is the one that's also on an important podium with custom cutscenes where you look up at a cross and you pan the camera around and stuff like that. Like, the game, without even hearing him say anything, was screaming, "This is the right one." So I was like, it's gotta be red herring, right? Nope, it's the right one.
I must be sure of my choice, though. I can't pick the wrong one. Am I really sure this is the one to take?
Infiltrator. Ooh, there's multiple pages of these things now. Oh, the Lange of Longinus. The holy lance that is said to have spilled the blood of Christ. It supposedly makes it possible to kill demons. Infiltrator. You have chosen the holy lance, 1 point in occultism and conviction. No claiming whether it's correct or not, just that you have chosen it. Yeah, like it had a custom... Look at this location. It's framed by torches, it's on a cool pedestal that's frankly off-center, but still. And has like a well-lit, cool... Like... Look at this. The other ones are just lying on the floor or a random piece of the wall. These ones are kind of competitors, but even them, like, they don't have, like, the scenery. This one's just, like, in a random chunk. Yeah, I don't know. The way that it's so framed, and it's not just a random discarded one, kind of adds to the weirdness. Because this whole quest has felt weirdly implemented. It almost feels like you were supposed to just walk in here and get it, and it was just supposed to be a cool room that the thing was in. But then maybe the episode was too short, so they came up with like a back and forth where you would have to try to find information. I don't know. I could definitely be wrong about that. It's just a vague feeling as opposed to something that I feel certain of at all. There's just like a vague, hard to like articulate awkwardness that's kind of permeated every episode of this game except the first one, I think. The first game felt like it had technical problems that I couldn't seem to escape. And those have been ironed out over time, I think, as far as like the frame rate and stuff. But there was just weird things about the first about the episodes 2 and on that I felt odd. I did not convince Cardinal Piaghi. I have not found all the clues enabling me to identify the Lance of Longinus. I did not find all copies of the Lance of Longinus kept by Lord Mortimer. Is that a failure, though? It frames it as a failure that I didn't find all copies. But I just intentionally didn't click on every single one because it seemed like a big pain in the ass. I don't know, maybe I made a mistake. That'll be interesting to find out. If this is like some important item that I need to find the exact one of. I have chosen the Lance of Longinus. I succeeded in extracting all the information from von Volner. I explored the crypt of the Mortimers. I learned that Sir Holm gave a mission to von Volner. Yeah, I couldn't find... Oh no. Hey game, how do you spell von Volner? How do you spell von Volner? Wait, aren't those both wrong? I think they made 2 different von Volner typos. Isn't von spelled with a V, but Volner is spelled with a W? So there's 2 typos. One, the bottom one, it's spelled with a W. The von is spelled with a W. The top one, it's almost right, but there's no space between von and Volner. It's written as one word. Much more minor typo. It's not a spelling error, at least, but Yeah, two different mistakes. Weird. We'll see if I made a mistake or not, but as far as I could tell, I got every clue, I think. And it straight up matched that description. But it could be that they could have trapped me. They could have intentionally trapped me by making it seem like there was only 3 characteristics of every lance, and that's all you had to match. There might be a random lance that has one additional, like, 4th characteristic I had to look for. That was an exact match to that one, but different. We'll find out. It'll affect the narrative, maybe. No, not quite.
I'm already pressed for time as it is. Mother's waiting for me on the wharf.
I'm really pressed for time. I better read these books. Boom. Manipulation, conviction. I didn't find a single book. Well, I found the note that finished this one, but I didn't find a new book, but it's not a big surprise. There's only apparently 7 left in the game. Not a lot. No points to spend because I didn't level up, so that's it. Alright. No choices to be had there. Join your mother at the wharf. If I know anything about stories ever, this will not go according to plan. We're gonna go there and she's not gonna be there, or something. Either she's not gonna be there, or somebody's gonna ambush us right when we get there, or someone was gonna be like, I know you would go find the spear. It's all according to plan. You got the spear for me. Ha ha ha. At which point I'd be like, really?
Wow, what's the matter with him? Excuse.
Spooky. Alright. What did I get? Is it caught off guard? Disconcerted. Effort points +1. Damn. So he could be Bonaparte, who's immune to conviction and politics, but vulnerable to etiquette. Or it could be Holm, who's immune to conviction, so it actually doesn't change anything. Never mind. I guess the politics, technically, because there's no secrets left for Holm. I know everything about him. He's just immune to conviction, but so is Bonaparte. Because I'm still wondering whether or not... I'm still confused about the Pyagi thing. I kind of think that he might be able to impersonate people, but I don't know. Like, I know he wears makeup, but that's not within the realm of possibility of how that makeup works, but okay. So, etiquette good, conviction and politics bad.
Monsieur, I don't follow you.
I haven't come all this way just to fail so close to the goal.
Why? What are you talking about?
I am talking about what you are doing. This conference is going to boost my career. There is no question of me letting you ruin everything. I just surprised Piaget and Volner talking. You are about to rob Mortimer. Give me what you took from him immediately.
Let's keep calm, please. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll have to cut this short, quick.
Hit him! You can just hit him.
Look, I don't know what you're going on about, and I don't have time for this right now.
Don't bank on getting rid of me so easily, de Richet. Where have you been?
Did Lord Mortimer tell you you could trust me?
Yes, but...
So, I'm working for him right now, and you're wasting my time with your questions. Look, if he hasn't taken you into his confidence, then you shouldn't know yet.
I'll soon figure out what you are up to. And I am convinced that you have indeed robbed Mortimer. The game is up. Give me what you took from him.
You know, this is becoming an obsession with you.
Show me what you are carrying, or I will call the servants.
Remind me, who did you hear making those alleged charges against me?
His Eminence Piaget and Monsieur von Volner were discussing them when I joined them.
And remind me, during the conference, which side were His Eminence and Mr. von Volner on?
Sir Gregory. But what has that got to do with it?
And did it not occur to you for a single instant that they might have been speaking about me in front of you on purpose? To manipulate you? I trust them to detect novices who are likely to be taken in, yes.
Those sons of whores. Ah! So that's how they see me.
Be careful to make sure the conference keeps on going ahead smoothly, though. Please. It would grieve me to have to report you to Lord Mortimer.
No, of course. I'll make sure those two bastards get what they've got coming. Right. We'll leave it there. I'm glad that things have been cleared up.
So, are we finished here?
Indeed we are. I shall leave you.
That's right. Go play somewhere else. See you later, monsieur. Come on. I have to hurry up and join my mother at the wharf now.
There we go. That was a mistake, by the way. I used a free skill item when I should have just ate the cost because it was only the cost of slightly more than one honey. And like, I had way overinvested.
The Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near, his brain is oozing by either ear. With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything.
This is a remarkably strange game. You better leave me alone, Napoleon Bonaparte, or I'm going to tell on you. It's just like a weird power play to be able to play in any game. I'm gonna tell on you, Napoleon. You better leave me alone. I can't take this path around. I have to go the other way around to get to the garden. Alright. Just because he's Napoleon, so it's a little weird. I like that they dispelled... I like that Napoleon's the same height. Getting rid of this caricature that he's supposed to be like this really short character. This will be really embarrassing, of course, if I'm just wrong and I'm like, and it's something like the dumb thing like Daddy Longlegs are the most poisonous spider, but their fangs can't penetrate human skin, being like a shitty like Snapple Cap lie that a bunch of people spread. So I'm hoping this isn't just wrong, but I've heard that the Napoleon Bonaparte thing is just straight up not true. That a part of it is that it's supposed to be like inches between English and French were like different lengths, so it was a miscommunication on some level. But it also may have been English like anti-French propaganda, which happens a lot. That's like an ongoing problem in general, is propaganda that people then just continue to believe centuries later.
Ah, Louis. Perfect timing.
As luck would have it.
Come, my boy. I would like to have a word with you.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, they're just blocking the path. I see. You know exactly where to wait.
Come closer, Louis.
Alright, let's look at Mortimer's stats before I walk in there. There he is. Immune to conviction and science. So you can't get in with conviction or science, just like home. That's a reoccurring thing. And there's a secret still, which is hopefully a weakness that we don't know about yet still. Man, she was a complicated character. I'm wondering if she'll ever show up again. Look how long her list of things is. We don't even have it filled in yet. All the way. We don't know anything about Godoy already. We must be waiting on him.
Come closer, please. It's time we had a little chat.
What's wrong, my lord? Tell me. What's with all the bodyguards?
Louis, it's time you found out the truth. I've been observing you since you arrived. I see you running all over the grounds in search of Sarah. I would like to prevent her from leading you even further down the wrong road.
The wrong road?
Louis, Sarah has made her own choices of her own free will, and I would like for you to have the same chance. You see, Sarah and I have known each other for a very long time, Louis. I am aware of her theory. About me, about Gregory, about the demons. She's right. Look at me. I have inhabited this body since 1191. For the last 602 years, I have been this dear William Mortimer.
Okay, she's just gonna pop on. He's just gonna pop out and say it? What?
You've been Mortimer for 600 years? How long have the demons been among mankind?
Oh, I don't think I'd be lying if I said that we have always been here.
If I follow you, you must have witnessed some of the greatest moments in history.
You could certainly say that, yes.
you seem to be fascinated by Christ. You weren't him, were you?
Oh, no, not at all. He was my father, though. Strange as it seems.
I beg your pardon? Am I dreaming? Ugh, please tell me I'm dreaming.
We should have the chance to talk about all that again later, but yes, he was my father. All the mythology surrounding Jesus of Nazareth really stems from my father's prideful need to show himself among men.
Things got odd. So he's a 600. This just happened. Like so much. He's just like, hey, by the way, I'm a 600-year-old demon and the son of Christ. No big deal. Yeah. He could be talking out his ass entirely, but it's just like, goddamn.
Did you know ancient Greece?
In many ways, yes. One day Pericles, the next Parmenides. Just the memory of the time I spent working on acoustics with Pythagoras. Well, it moves me quite deeply, to tell the truth.
Pericles. He's the one who brought Athens to its golden age, isn't he?
In a way, yes.
He established democracy and then died during an epidemic. It wasn't so long after his 2 sons passed away. Isn't that right?
Excuse me, Louis. I would rather not relive any more of that, if you don't mind.
Did you know ancient Egypt?
Oh, yes. We were gods on earth in those days.
What did men call you then?
Amenhotep IV.
The 10th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty?
Ooh, I see you're a connoisseur, Louis. Impressive.
Did you experience ancient Rome?
Oh, yes. Luxury and decadence, Louis. My family did indeed reign supreme, but from this period I retain only the works of my friend, Marcus Vitruvius Pollio.
I've noticed that you have a passion for the Crusades.
Among other things, yes. Mainly the third. It was during the siege of St. Joan of Arc that I took possession of Lord Mortimer.
And you've never changed skins or bodies since?
I have used other envelopes, but only to carry out very short tasks. Apart from that, indeed, I have been able to retain the identity of William Alexander Mortimer throughout the centuries.
He's just so upfront about this that it's just getting really weird.
Lucifer, the fallen archangel, left heaven accompanied by 133,306,668 angels. Is it true that there are that many of you?
No, I assure you, Louis. Forget your Bible class. It's ridiculous. We are not angels. We don't have wings. There is certainly nowhere near 1 million of us. And for that matter, no sacred human text represents us correctly. There are several families, and the family to which I belong has 8 siblings, including Gregory and myself.
Sir Gregory is your brother?
Yes, what can I say? You can't choose your family, but it is very difficult to know exactly how many of us there are because a large number of our kind remain hidden or never reveal themselves even to us.
So Gregory, So Gregory jumped into Piaghi's body. So that really was Piaghi. But Gregory took control, and that's that's probably why he got a nosebleed. And at any point when I talked to somebody, they could secretly be Gregory Home or Mortimer. And then and as a result, mechanically, interestingly, those characters' weaknesses apply.
You're the devil incarnate.
The devil? I'm not saying that all Judeo-Christian folklore hasn't served us, but the truth is, of course, something quite different. Please, don't look at us through the primitive prism of religions. I am not hiding any horns or goat's feet, Louis. I have no tail.
You know, the physical description of the devil's not the most important part, right? It's more like the intent and so on. Oh, my poor backlog of let's just cure this already. I don't know how many more dialogue choices I'm gonna make. I'm just burning through my resources by having it be +1 constantly.
why do you bring up folk? You mean that you've taken advantage of people's beliefs?
No, not exactly. I mean that we in fact created them from scratch. It is amazing to see how mankind has such a strong need to believe in something superior to itself. It was very instructive for what was to come.
And you truly have the power to manipulate the thoughts of men.
That's right. Every demon has the capacity to infiltrate the minds of men and to read and steer their thoughts.
And what do you do with this power?
We help them, of course.
Of course you do. And you expect me to believe that, I suppose.
Louis, demon is just a word. It all depends on what exists beneath the surface. I understand that this isn't easy. The culture of men is centered on the fact that demons are responsible for all the evils on Earth.
But if it's the same in every single culture, then maybe there might be something to it. Don't you think?
Certainly there is something to it. Control. Man has spent his existence wishing to believe in the supernatural and imposing his belief on others. What could be more convenient for manipulating the masses? A perfect, inaccessible being and a plethora of demons in every one. The perfect idea to relieve men of all responsibility while still finding them guilty.
That was my mistake. I went too fast, and primarily I just didn't... Oh, because we're not in a debate right now, or whatever you want to call it. I wasn't thinking about having to worry about immunity still.
Can you tell me more about your capacities, your supernatural powers?
Supernatural? From my point of view, they are perfectly natural. Well, Louis, just because the monkey does not fly doesn't mean that we should consider the bird a supernatural creature. We are all part of a grand design. We are simply made like this. By developing our art, we are able to read thoughts as well as write in the minds of men. It is possible for us to make them bow to our desire, but it doesn't work without leaving some scars.
I don't know, infiltrating people's brains might still be considered pretty supernatural. So controlling people damages them, which explains Pyagni's nosebleed. The question is whether he's going to go after me, or does the spear somehow defend me? Yeah, how can you believe him? You just went straight to it. It's a really outlandish claim.
Why should I trust you?
I'm not asking you to, Louis. If you are still in doubt about the demons, I can assure you that won't last long.
But why me?
Why do I tell you about the greatest secret ever revealed to man?
That's right.
I'm coming to that. Don't worry.
What has my mother got to do with all this?
She embarked on a crusade many years ago to kill all the demons.
That must have upset you. I imagine you retaliated.
No, I'm afraid she never forgave me.
Forgave what?
We met when she was still just a young woman. I appeared to her in a different form because I didn't want to reveal the identity of Lord Mortimer at that time. She was looking for someone interested in the occult to decipher an ancient book. We spent many years together until I revealed my true nature to her.
The old book was Al-Azif, wasn't it?
Did she speak about it?
Not so long ago, yes.
Indeed, it was already Al-Azif. She wanted to unlock the secrets.
When we say Al-Azif, we're talking about the Necronomicon, aren't we? I'm gonna be amazed if I played two separate games with special dialogue skills and so on from the same publishers that feature the Necronomicon at the same time, basically.
How would you qualify your species scientifically?
Good question. What is your area of expertise?
Physics, biology, and philosophy. He's immune to science. Shit. This is a trap, isn't it? He's immune to science, and all the options are science.
My lord, to tell you the truth, I don't see myself as a scientist.
Well, consider us as a simple species still unknown to most of men. Thus we are born. We have the capacity to change bodies, that is all.
Simple.
What are the demons' projects for humanity?
Our aim has long since been to protect humanity from itself. On the other hand, although we give them the impulse to succeed, we don't all agree as to the path they take to achieve it.
Continue.
Louis, it's time you opened your eyes. Come, you'll soon see.
After you.
I'm not surprised to find that he's been following and watching us. In fact, it addresses what felt like almost a plot hole at some point, because we so blatantly open massive mega doors with kind of embarrassing puzzles and are just making a mess of things and being noisy and obstructive, and like the fact that this place full of people would never encounter the fact that we're just infiltrating them when infiltrating them means opening mega doors and vaults and crap. Like the owner you'd think would notice. It turns out he was watching the whole time. Making this whole thing kind of silly. Or making us seem silly, at least.
If you could manipulate us mentally, what's the point of all the theatrics of the conference?
You must suspect that we asked ourselves that very same question. For many centuries, we didn't organize any conferences, and most of the time, it ended in civil war between demons. Many of us were killed during this period. The idea of organizing conferences was the answer to everything. The interest being to erect some rules among ourselves. Our family first divided up all the principal countries of the world. Now, whenever one of us wanted to propose a major change between these countries, they summon the demon in question and initiate a conference. The demon that initiates the proposition doesn't have to give notification of the subject of the conference beforehand. Consequently, we participate along with our best assets. Once the humans are brought together, the conference begins, but we are forbidden to use our talents to influence the participants. The first meeting is held in order to expose the subject to all the participants, followed by several days of reflection, during which we are allowed to be persuasive but not to impose our will. A second meeting closes the conference with a final vote.
So, for you it's a game, isn't it?
I understand your remark, but after living several centuries, you stand back and enjoy what reflection and pleasure you can.
But how do you agree on global policy?
Locally, we often have competing interests, and sometimes we start wars between men which are linked to our disagreements. Most of the time, our father steps in and gives directives, which my family follow to the letter. Indeed, in my opinion, it is high time we moved on.
What do you mean?
I mean that a new era must begin. The old monarchic regimes are outdated, and it's time to evolve.
So was Holm breaking a rule when he took over Pyagi, or does the fact that it's not the middle of an encounter make it mean that it doesn't matter? Because we're not currently doing the meetings. And is this why the other Frenchman is like losing his mind constantly?
So, von Borchert, he was looking for the Al-Azif for you.
Exactly. Al-Azif has always belonged to my family, Louis. And with good reason. My father wrote much of it. Can you tell me what you've done with...
What, you mean the Al-Azif?
No, I already know that. Sarah came here with it and got rid of it. I was thinking of von Borchert. He isn't essential, but he is a trusted person.
He's a prisoner at our headquarters in Paris.
All right.
Did what happened to Elizabeth Adams have anything to do with you?
Unfortunately, the poor girl became an issue between us, in spite of herself. A family of demons is still a family, and as in all families, there are disputes. Elizabeth's family, the Adams, has always been under the patriarchal control of my father. As he and myself are not really on very good terms, sending poor Elizabeth here was terribly rude of him, really.
You did accept, though.
No, I would say rather I was presented with a fait accompli by Gregory and went along with the intention of helping her. But this is my castle, and everyone is the master of their own home.
Wait, your father? Are you saying John Adams is also Jesus? Is that what you're saying here?
The voice in Elizabeth's head. It was you.
It was my father, to be precise. I hope I've answered all your questions, Louis. Come, I've something to show you.